It wasn't planned for me to record a podcast today, but I woke up just feeling really happy. And I was like, I have to record this. I need to have evidence that at one point in time, Grace was happy with how things were going with YouTube. This is that moment. Take a photo. So, what's gone on? Normally for me, when I think about YouTube before going to bed is when I have the most thoughts and questions about it all. Most of the time, it's like a lot of anxiety stuff. The past 2 nights in a row, I've just come up with some really good ideas and I just feel really, really good about it, even though nothing really happened. I'm not going to say what happened because sometimes that can kind of steal your own thunder a little bit. But yeah, I feel really excited about this thing and starting your own channel and trying to make a business. It's just not knowing anything, just being a baby, just having nobody there to say that you're doing a great job, really. Well, some very nice commenters, thank you very much. But apart from that, your coworker that you're spending the most time with is probably the bullshit in your own head. You know, you're just trying new skill, new software after new technique, after new system, new workflow. Do you know, the old school car washes where they had the big rollers, vertical rollers that would spin around and shoot water and wax at the car? Jeez, I haven't seen one of those in years. When I was a kid, I used to sit in the car when my dad would go through them, or my mom, and it was pretty exciting. Did the car go through? No, I think the rollers moved. The car didn't really move. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to kind of start your own career, especially when you have a lot of negative stuff in your head. It's just you're just standing there and you're just being hit by all these things that you should know that you don't know. And you're blind. And you're like, when is this going to stop? I don't know when it's going to stop. And then, if you're patient enough and can just deal with being slapped a million times with, oh, you don't know this, you don't know this, then eventually you kind of get past that phase. And to get past that phase is just such a relief, such a relief. So I'm not sure if it's the joy of just not being beat up by these questions and not knowing how to answer them, knowing that I don't have to go through that anymore because I do have a direction. Or is it really the joy of hey, what I'm building is so exciting in the future? One of the things that I realized is that when I started this channel, I thought it would be something let me share some tech advice with you guys to help you guys save loads of money for you, probably non-technical audience. And then I realized that was really boring. And probably you're not interested in that. Deep down, I'm not interested in it. I'm just interested in helping people. And if people don't find that very helpful, then it's not helping people, really. Not only that, from doing my podcast episode, which I'm still editing, where I'm helping my friend replace their podcast hosting subscription with another free way to do it where they don't have to pay the $150 a year. I learned that some people like to pay the $150 a year just so they don't have to deal with any of the technical stuff. And I was just like, of course, I just happen to like using my technical skills to try and save myself some money to kind of get around corporate BS and just be a bit more in control of what I'm doing in my digital life. But obviously not everyone's like that. And then I just kind of realized / remembered that the majority of people are not like this. The majority of people are quite happy to pay money just so that they can have access to a feature and not have to think about anything that goes behind it. That is a great service for them. I'm someone who has a lot of things where I'm like, oh, I really don't like to do this. And if I could pay somebody 10, 20, 30 euros an hour to do it for me, gladly pay the money. Right now I have to make a complaint to an airline because I lost my bag and I need to get compensation for that. But I just hate complaining and doing this kind of stuff. So if I could just give someone 10% of the money so that they could do it for me, I would gladly do that. But unfortunately, I don't know any such service. So I have to do it myself. And I've been procrastinating forever. So I totally get the just pay the money, somebody else do the managed service for me. And then realizing that, it kind of freed me up to think, okay, this channel isn't just going to be about me sharing tech tips to help people save money because they don't want the tips. They just want features, So I'm like, okay, I actually am not the best tip sharer. That's not my vibe. My vibe is like, I like to build things, I like to build systems. So why don't I just like build stuff that I wish existed that didn't exist? And then if people want to pay to use that stuff, like a subscription, because now I know not all subscriptions are so evil, maybe that's not a bad way to go about trying to make money online. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So like for my main channel, which is tech experiments, why don't I just like make a lot of the experiments about me building this thing that I really want to build that I think will help a lot of people. And if people think it would help them, they can just pay a little bit of money to have that system help them. Makes sense. It's coherent. It's not begging. It's not yucky monetization. It's kind of like a different path for how to make money on YouTube. It's not like, hey, I'm partnering with somebody who's going to like make some online software that I'm going to try and shill to you guys. It's like, look, I'm building this thing. I want it to exist for me. And if you think that the thing that helps me can also help you, then feel free to rebuild it if you're a technical person and, you know, you can see the steps that I followed. Or if you don't want to rebuild it and you just want to use the thing that I built, then you can pay a little bit of money and then you can use it. Then with enough money, I can keep building things and so on and so on. It makes sense. It makes sense. It seems possible. It seems very possible. It's not relying on the kindness of strangers. It's relying on the fact that other people have the same problem as I do, and they're probably happy to pay a little bit of money to resolve that problem. But yeah, so I think half of the happiness that I feel is relief from all of the anxiety and stuff that I was feeling. So like, say I was feeling -3, and then going from -3 to 0 is already, wow, I feel 3 points better. But then, you know, now that I have this plan that makes sense in my head, I'm on a +5. So I'm actually like 8 points difference. I'm like crazy happy, you know? That's how I feel. I did kind of know that it would feel like this at some stage because I think whenever I'm having a low, I just feel like, oh, I'm just feeling all of these negative feelings, but that will balance out sometime later with a bunch of positive feelings because I think that people kind of find their own balance, find their own equilibrium. Now I feel really happy, but probably in a couple of months when I'm like in the middle of building this thing that I want to build, I'll be unhappy again. I'll be like, oh my God, this is much more complicated than I thought it was. Why didn't I just become a sellout and do all the yucky marketing stuff? Like build a massive sales funnel to a piece of shit crypto coin. Then I'd be happy and rich and sitting on a beach with my laptop being digital nomad, knowing full well that I don't like to sit on a beach. And the idea of using a laptop outside during the daytime is very annoying because you get so much screen glare. So I actually do like to be a little office goblin, just hiding from the sunlight and in front of screens all day, and then just to chill at nighttime. That's my preferred way to live. I actually would not like to be on a beach during the day or night. I just don't really like beaches. You know, I grew up in a small Irish town that had a beach across from my house, and it stank, it smells. And there was a shopping trolley visible for a couple of years, half buried in the sand. But yeah, so I don't know if I came across as like super negative in my previous videos. Because a friend of mine actually reached out and said like, you know, basically don't talk bad about yourself. And I didn't really feel like I was talking bad about myself. I was just like explaining how I felt. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad that I can have a happy episode one day to balance it out. And this is my idea of balance, like one happy episode every 10 annoyed episodes. What's the moral of the story? You know, when you're banging your head against the wall, at some stage the wall does break. Not actually, like metaphorically. But yeah, so feeling good. Knowing it's temporary, trying to enjoy it while I can. And you know what's funny as well? Just like having a different mindset just changes my idea about work, changes how I feel. Like editing, I'm still as slow as ever. I just don't feel as much self-pressure because I know that my game plan is not like the typical game plan of most YouTubers where it's like volume, volume, volume. I'm not chasing volume. I'm chasing infrastructure. I'm trying to build I'm trying to build things. I mean, definitely it would help if I could make faster videos. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be okay either way. So why stress about it? I feel like having confidence allows you to be yourself more and allows you to build better things, make better videos. So even if nothing really changed externally, just like what's in my head, the biggest blocks that I've been having so far were stuff that's in my head, and now that's changed, and I feel really good. I feel really, really good. Imagine that. Documented. This happened. 2026. If you're feeling really, really stuck in whatever it is that you're doing, just know at some stage it will pass. It will pass, and there's a really, really good day waiting for you eventually on the other side. And you just got to be patient until you get there. So, okay, that's it. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, listening. Bye bye.